G'day guys, Solaz here, welcome back to the channel. Wow, it's been a freaking minute. Yes, because I am getting kicked out of my place. Nah, just kidding. However, the real estate market here in Melbourne is going absolutely crazy and my rent went up. So after 4.5 weeks of looking for a new place, doing inspections, applications, I finally found something. It was a nightmare, guys, a nightmare. So as you can see, I am currently in the process of moving. The studio is almost empty, but after 4 weeks of hard work, I finally have a couple of hours for myself just before to go to work, so I want to make a beat. So today, no context, no ideas, I just want to sit behind my laptops, go on Ableton and make a beat. Let's do it. Okay, so we are in Ableton. I'm not gonna waste any minutes and already draw a MIDI clip. So I think I've been using a lot of live elements lately, so I think I'm just gonna be using something like a one-shot, like something analogic or from a sample pack. I'm gonna drop down the tempo to 120, why I don't know. And I'm just gonna be looking for a nice one-shot into the cymatic bank. No. Yeah, I think I like this one. Okay, I'm gonna put the scale onto F sharp minor. And I'm gonna start to draw a melody. Maybe a little lower. Yeah, that's cool. I think I can make this even longer and change a couple of things here to like have a resolving melody. Ooh, yeah, cool, that's great. That's great. I think I am just going to need maybe another one, like something a bit more percussive for the hook. Yeah, that could work. But one thing that I can do though is just to remove the low. Or maybe, no, keep them, but with a much 60% of the velocity. And EQ this straight away. Cool, that's great. That is great. Another top melody that will probably follow like the bass notes. Ooh, yes, something percussive as well maybe. And then yeah. Oh no, maybe the opposite. Yeah, perfect. I think I'm gonna go with the 808 straight away. Yes, that's nasty. Yes, not working well. Okay, straight away, let's go on the snare now. Yeah, this one sounds good. Yes, I want to go with the kick. I'm just gonna solo the kick and the... Actually, just the drums and the 808. Yes, cool. Now let's go on to the hi-hats. Okay, now I am going to play with the velocity here. And then another one that is going to go much slower. We are going to need an open. I think I'm gonna need to make this a little more dirtier. So we're gonna pull an RC20. And for this one, I think I'm just gonna put a delay, but like a small delay, very short delay. I can totally hear some like vintage movie vocals. Okay, I'm gonna go on Splice and try to look for something like that. Okay, I'm back. I just went to grab a little sneaky snack. So yeah, I've got those vocal effects I was looking for.
Too many ways those monsters can get in up there.
You just got to realize that everybody's going to be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.
So I'm probably going to mix them better, put a bit of like maybe delay of like some reverb to really get them into the space. And then for the intro, I've changed the melody toward the end. Repeat. Bam, and then we drop into the hook. So I think I've got everything I need to work with, and that was really fast. I think I've made the overall thing in like 20 minutes. So in order not to have like a 5-minute video, I am just continue and like I think add the effect and maybe do my mastering process and my mixing process as well.
You just got to realize that everybody's going to be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.
That's better. Maybe a cheeky reverb.
You just got to realize that everybody's going to be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.
Oof, that is spicy. I could, or Instead of using this filter, I could just use the building auto filter. Okay, let's see.
You just got to realize that everybody's going to be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.
Nice, nice. I think I'm gonna start with my sidechain now. So for my sidechain, I am using 2 different sidechains. I think I explained this before in another video, but I can go over it again. So for sidechain, I'm using 2 different sidechains. A sidechain that is going to regroup like percussions, the synths, so all the melodic elements, and the effects and other audio. It's not going through the vocals because I think the vocals should stay clean and not getting sidechains. And then I've got another sidechain for the 808 or the sub, because I like to have this flexibility in between all the elements, and the 808, which I think, especially in hip hop, is a vital element and will need some slight different settings. So then I just need to recreate, and also in order to make my sidechain, I'm using Shaperbox. I've got the plugins here, and I've got the trigger here, which is going to trigger the sidechain. So my trigger is basically just going to be like a MIDI clip. Oh wow, this is weird. So every time this MIDI is gonna get triggered, it's gonna trigger my sidechain. If you'd like me to go over it in a more specific way, I could make a video, just ask me down in a comment. Okay, so now I just need to follow the pattern of my kick. So this is without. And this is with the sidechain. The kick is breathing way more. So am I happy with that? Now let's go on to Shaperbox and see what my settings are. It's a pretty fast sidechain, which I like. I think for this type of production is working really well. It has to be kind of subtle. One little check without the 808. Yeah, it's very subtle, I like it. So now what I can do is just copy those triggers and paste them onto my 808. So we're done with the general sidechain of all my melodic elements. Now I am going to be dealing with the sidechain of my 808. So without it, and with. You can hear like the sub is getting, the 808 is getting reduced, so we can actually solo it. Now same process here. Now that might be a bit too slow. So my sidechain is done now. I think I can start working on my effect. So what I mean by effect, I need some transition effects, either to bring a new part of the track or to make the listener understand, okay, we are done with this one. So, you know, like some white noises, some impacts. What I normally do for the effects, I don't wrap them. I like to keep them as it is, because the tempo normally doesn't really matter unless you've got like an auto pan or a frequency shifter on one of your effects. that is going to follow a BPM, so you need to sync it. But for this one, I think it doesn't matter.
Realize that everybody's going to be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.
Ooh! So as you can see, all my effects are -10. I'm even gonna drop this one down to -12. Various, what have they got? That's cool. Again, so this one might be affected if I don't write it. Yeah, see, it is affected. But then I might need to put it into complex mode, otherwise it's just gonna sound super weird. But I might want this for the second part. Yeah, that's fitting pretty well. Why not? Again, see, it sounds all weird, complex. We brought back the quality of the audio back. Mindlate 12 for this one as well. Oh, that's cool. Maybe faster. It's probably gonna sync itself. Again. Yeah. Yeah, that works, that works. Now, as I said, some transition effects. So this is kind of generic. No, I need something a little more. Oh, maybe I could use this one.
Day you die.
Yeah, that works. But I'm gonna need something a little longer and with a bit more texture. Yeah, something subtle like that. That's nice as well. Okay, now that I have pretty much everything I want to work with, I have duplicated my loop a few times to make a track. Probably get rid of this and this. So yeah, on Ableton, when you click on a MIDI or an audio and you press 0, it will activate or deactivate, which is great, so you don't have to delay things. So if you've got a different pattern, a different melody, it's still there, but it's just not activated. And then I think I'm gonna do my classic remove of thing. I like to do this kind of like push and pull effect. I think the 808 can go. Yeah, that works in well. So I think now I'm just gonna go on Splice and try to find a drum fill.
On your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.
Maybe for this one.
From 5 o'clock until the day you die. 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 Cool. And I think I could just end up with and for the last one, I think I can remove this note. Same here. Okay, so this is not a typical, I would say, track layout. I'm just doing something real quick here. But I'm happy with the end result. So now I'm gonna start on to the mixing and the mastering. So for the mixing and mastering, what I like to do is just select all individual colors and see how they are, if they're not too loud, not too quiet, if they're not clashing with each other, and then compare them, add them, yada yada yada. So what's good on Ableton is that you can just select whatever you want to listen and then press S to solo it. And now I only have the percussions and drums. I like it, I like it. I think the kick is punchy, the snare is really present into the stereo field, and the hi-hats are present without cutting too much of the main drums. Now I'm gonna add the sub bass to that, the 808. Next thing I'm going to do is just put my utility and make sure my 808 is on monophonic. So now I'm gonna select the drums again, solo them, and then add the melodic element. And this is just a volume comparison to see if I need to push or reduce something. Now everything sounds fine to me, and then last check, I'm gonna check the melodies and the effects. They're here, but not too present. Cool, I like it, I like it. So I think everything sounds nice to me. That's why it's sometimes important to mix as you go, so you don't have to do everything at the end. And now I think I can process onto my master. Just big disclaimer, I am not an engineer, so I'm not entirely sure of what I'm doing. This is not standard technique, this is just what I do for my own use, and I think it's working okay. However, don't take any advice from me, because they might be wrong. Okay, so what's going to be important in your master is to make sure, well, it's loud enough, not too loud, and it doesn't clip. So what that means is that it doesn't go over 0. As you can see, I am not clipping. It's crazy because like it's quite dynamic and loud already. And I'm only clipping when the snare is hitting, which is technically what you are going, I mean, most of the time, which is, it's what you're gonna get. So now I'm just gonna show this side, and wow, I am clipping 1.5, which is nothing at all. I'm gonna drop another utility and reduce it by 5 dBs. So I'm gonna have like plenty of headroom to work with. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a EQ, and I am going to remove a couple of things. I am going to put a brick wall from the low end. Actually, nah, I don't like to use brick wall. I don't know why I'm saying that. Yes, it doesn't make a big difference, but... and I am going to be removing, probably I will say 120. 100 Hertz, I will say, of the low ends on the side, because you want your low ends to be mono. Now we can go back onto the stereo field, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I am going to do a low cut, but this one, this time a very subtle one, from probably 25 Hertz. Because most of the sound system, when I say most, is like I'm talking about your phone, your headphone, your earphone, your speakers, the speakers that you have at home, in your cars, and even huge sound system can go below 30 Hz. So there's no point having all this information here, because they're not gonna be played and heard. So that's what I'm going to do. And sometimes I like to boost the sides, the high ends on the sides on the stereo field, but I don't know, I don't think I need to for this one. And as you can see, I've got a nice headroom here. The lows and the very top end are quite loud compared to the mids, which is great in hip hop, because in the mids, that's where the voice of the artist is going to be sitting. So you need this room for the artist to be heard. And so the audio engineer don't have to do like a billion things to make your track sound good. I'm pretty happy for the EQ actually. I think I'm not gonna touch anything. Next thing I'm going to do, I am going to put a compressor and I'm going to be using FabFilter again, the C2. Again, I'm not an audio engineer, so I don't really have a method to go in details and to say, okay, I'm gonna do this and this, because I don't have the experience yet. So I'm just doing a mastering preset, and I normally use the golden transparency or the gentle, the gentle wide mastering, which is just there. What I'm going to do, however, on this one is to push the filter a bit more, because I don't want the low ends to be compressed, probably around 120. And then what I do, I put an Ozone 9 element, which is going to be like a big mix mastering track. I'm gonna remove the image and the EQ, because I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna be using the compressor / limiter. I'm gonna enable True Peak and always removed 1 dB of the ceiling. Once I'm not gonna play anything, you see I'm not playing anything. Once I've done that, I'm gonna put my U-Lean loudness meter. So this loudness meter is basically gonna tell you where your overall track sits. And this is going to be very important when you're gonna start to release your music into streaming platforms. What I'm normally looking at is the integrated loudness. So I'm just gonna make this a little smaller, put it here. And you can see my true peak is at -1.8, which is great. And my integrated LUF is sitting on -15. What I am normally trying to reach is between -9 to -10. So I think this, in my opinions, that's where it's like super loud, dynamic, which is going to be pretty good for all the platforms, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, yada yada yada. So as you can see, -15 in order to get to -9, I can do a little bit of pushing. So I'm gonna need this limiter to start working a bit. So I'm gonna bring down the threshold slowly until it starts working. Cool. As you can see, the blue bar there. This is when it starts working. I could push it more, but I don't know why. I don't have any explanation for that, but I don't really like using just one limiter and letting do all the heavy works. So I'm gonna close this, I'm done with that, and I'm going to be open Pro L, which is a FabFilter limiter. And I'm not gonna touch any settings, I'm just gonna push the gain a little more. Until this one is starting to work as well. And as you can see here, I've reached my -9 LUF and I've got a reduction of -1 dB. So here it says I am peaking a little bit at 0.1, which is not a big deal. I'm not concerned by that. And this is my master done. This is my mastering process. Again, this is not industry standard, that's just what I do. So I guess, yes, we're all done.
And that's it guys, all done with the video. I hope you like this bit. It feels good to be back. Next video will definitely be at my new place. So that's exciting. Less exciting is the moving, which is going to be happening this weekend. So without further ado, let's hear the final result and I see you in the next one.
You just got to realize that everybody's going to be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die. You just got to realize that everybody's going to be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.